Steve Sexton, and welcome to the Silver Hair Tsunami Show. We have a wonderful show for you today. We have Michelle Cole. You know what? Pension issues. Pensions are going away. You want to learn how to replace them? Michelle's going to help you with that. We've got Brenda Geiger. Are you a Star Wars fan? Would you like to go to the premiere? You're going to have that opportunity in Carlsbad, so stick with us for Brenda. She's going to help you also out with some estate planning issues. And then we have Wayne Dunlop. Wayne Dunlop, he wrote the book, Plan Your Escape, How to Travel the World for Less Than What It Is to Live at Home. There's 160,000 people who follow him. He's going to give you wonderful tips on how to save thousands of dollars when it comes to traveling. Stick with us. We'll be right back. Wonderful show. You ever been asked by a friend or family member to borrow money? Wow, big thing, huh? Now, here's a few things you might want to consider before doing that. You know what? The first one is you might not get paid back. Turns out only about half of the people get paid back in full. In fact, you know what? When you lend money to a friend or a family member, you don't have a contract, you know what? You might never get paid back. If you're thinking about lending money to a family or friend, you want to act like a financial institution. That means you put something in writing, a payment schedule, so you can get your money back. Now, if you don't want to do that and you're not comfortable with it, you might as well just gift them the money. You can gift more than $14,000 and utilize a 709 gift tax return. Real simple. Most tax preparers can do it. Now, the big thing you want to look at if you're lending money is, hey, will it create a financial strain? Okay, there's many people who say, hey, I'm going to help out a friend. They'll take out a loan against their credit card. And you know what? It'll cause problems with credit because if your friend doesn't pay you, you've got to pay. And if you're already tight on your money, hey, you're the one that's going to have the credit problems. So it's really important to take a look at it. You know what? The other thing is you might be enabling bad habits. Okay, this is a biggie. Many people who borrow from friends or family members, they usually do it 2, 3, 4 times. And if you continue to help that, you know what, all it's going to do is encourage that bad habit. The big thing here is it's important to say, hey, no, fix it. Maybe you should be getting a second job or a different job or cutting back on your bills or your spending. Those are the conversations you should be having. The other big thing is risking your relationship with friends or family members. All too often, as a financial person that provides advice, I talk to people and they're worried about borrowing to one family member because they're uncomfortable doing that because, you know what, hey, should I be lending it to Bobby, Jeannie, Jack, and so on, and making sure everybody gets them? What if they pass away? What will happen with the trust and the will? And then, you know what, that uncomfortableness you have when somebody doesn't pay you back or doesn't think they have to pay you back. You lend somebody $10,000. They're your brother. You have family events and you feel uncomfortable talking to them because they stiffed you on your money. So you don't want to ruin your family. One of the best adages I've always heard, as a policy, we don't lend money to friends or family. It might be the best statement you make, especially during this holiday season. This is Steve Sexton with your tip of the day. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Steve Madsen. My wife Debbie and I are the owners of this fabulous home in beautiful Coronado. We decided to put solar in the home because we wanted to have a smaller carbon footprint and we wanted to save some money. I'm a retired contractor and I've worked with Baker Electric in the past, so when I found out they had a solar division, I was ecstatic. They're a good company, got integrity, a good work ethic. I would definitely recommend Baker. My wife and I are extremely happy with what they've done for us.
Hey, you know, we just got reports that DuPont is going to stop contributing to its pension here in the next couple of years. But you know, this pension dilemma started way back in 2008, and even before that. IBM did away with its pension. Why? Because they had too few workers to continue to pay for the pension moving forward. We're seeing this with the interstate truckers, we're seeing with the merchant marines, and what they're finding out is the pension isn't longer viable. And what I mean by that is those pensions might only be lasting 8, 10, 12 years. And you know what? That's a big dilemma for somebody when they find this out. They might be 65, they might be 70. You know what? They can't go back to work, and if the pension goes away, working at Walmart or Home Depot isn't going to do it. So we have a specialist here. Her name is Michelle Cole. She's with Cole Reverse Mortgage, and she's going to talk to us about how people are replacing their pension to make sure they can live the life they want. Michelle, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Steve. It's always a pleasure to be here.
I'm glad you're here, and this is a big topic. You know,
yeah,
we're
it's
just
huge.
seeing that tip of the iceberg. And you know what? I know you have a story about somebody you worked with named Bernie.
Yes.
So-
Bernie fits right into exactly what you were talking about. He worked for the Merchant Marine. He was worked on boats, ships, hauling freight all over the Pacific Rim for about 30 years. Then he retired. Thought, wow, I got this nice pension, going to last me forever. So 10 years down the road, he's 63, and he gets this letter saying his pension's going away in 12 years, just like what you were talking about.
That's nuts.
It's awful. I mean, can you imagine how you'd feel? So he goes, okay, what do I do?
That'd be
That
really
means I got to
scary.
go back to Home Depot or something, because his skill set is like, remember, working on chips. He's not into tech or any of those things, so he's saying, what do I do? So he goes to his financial advisor, and that's the important key. He goes in and goes, okay, what do I do? The financial advisor looks at what he's got and goes, Bernie, this is not going to last as long as you need it to. You're going to need some help. But the financial advisor's smart and said, you know, maybe you ought to consider a reverse mortgage as part of this piece. And he says a little bit about, you know, check to see about the line of credit, equity line. So talks to a reverse mortgage specialist, and what he finds out is the equity line with a reverse mortgage grows over time. The way it was figured is he would get about $312,000 to start with, and with a growth rate that could take him in 12 years to about $580,000. And
wow.
what that means is that $40,000 a year pension is going to be completely replaced in 12 years. When it runs out, then he's got that money. And plus, you know, Bernie's got other assets, his financial advisors telling him what to do, and with a growth rate of about 5%, Bernie's going to be able to extend the life of his assets, not only to 75, 90, but up to 100 now.
Well, you know what? So basically what you're saying is this. You know, this is a thing that's going to be happening with a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
You're 65, you find out your pension's going to go away or get reduced.
Yeah.
And you're going, okay, if I'm losing $3,000 or $4,000 a month,
Yes.
I can't go to work at Home Depot or Lowe's because they just can't pay me enough.
No.
I am a little bit older in the workforce, so it's tough to go get, you know, retrained.
Exactly.
So what am I going to do?
Yeah.
My options are to take my current assets and see if they work out, and if they don't, I've got to find something else. And you just said, hey, we can use a reverse mortgage,
Yeah.
and it's because of the irrevocable equity line.
Correct.
That means nobody can take it away, but it's
Not
going to
like the
grow.
pension.
But it's going to
Exactly.
grow with an interest rate,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I could use that at some time in the future.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's a wonderful story.
It's huge. And what if Bernie needs health care and other things down the road? He's going to have that chunk of money that's sitting there growing. So when it gets to that point, he has access to money that's there for him, not going to go away. And if interest rates are maybe a little higher, maybe it's even a higher growth rate. So maybe it's more money. Maybe it's $600,000. Maybe it's a little bit over that even.
So basically what you're telling me what Bernie's doing is he's using the, you know, I was just doing quick math. It's about
Yeah.
15 years
Yes.
that $580,000 would last. But
Correct.
the other money, the financial advisor said, hey, let's grow this.
Exactly.
So we've got 12 plus 15 years is 27 years for this to grow to be in a position where you can use it after the age of 75.
Correct.
Wow, that's you know what, that's
Yeah.
some good planning, and you know what, I'm glad, you know what, I'm really glad you're here because a lot of people don't understand this, and if they understood what it could do for them, it'd make a big difference in their life. And you know what, whether they're, you know, don't need it right now, it'd make a sense to take a look at a reverse mortgage depending on.
Absolutely.
That's
You
great.
know, and the best thing, Steve, is there's no costs involved with that money sitting there. So it just sits there growing. You're not paying anything for that just sitting there. It's huge for people.
I got to ask this question because you got to
Yeah.
dispel a myth when it comes to reverse mortgages.
Yes.
Everybody thinks, hey, what happens if Bernie passes away when he's 73 and doesn't use any of it? Does the house go to the bank?
No,
What happens?
of course not. Yes, that's the biggest myth going. Everybody asks me the same question, and I say, no, you're the only one on title. It does not go to the bank. And plus, if Bernie never used it, he's not going to be paying for it. It's not a loan against his property. It's available funds, but it's not a loan against it until he uses it. And even then, he'd probably have plenty of equity. So his heirs would get that equity when the home is sold or refinanced. So, no.
Well,
it's a
you know what? If
wonderful
he
thing.
just used a little bit of it, how would the heirs get the home? Would they have to pay off that little loan that he had?
Yeah, it's a loan. A
Okay.
mortgage, it's a mortgage. So yeah, if there's a loan balance, it gets paid off. But more than likely, there's plenty of equity. It's just like any other home. If you've got a mortgage on it, when you sell it, you pay off that loan and you keep the difference in equity.
Okay, so money still goes to the heirs, which is important.
Absolutely, yes.
You know what, Michelle, thank you so much for dispelling that myth, but more importantly, giving that information today, because with all these pensions having issues, we're going
yeah.
to see it more and more. A reverse mortgage is going to make more and more sense to people down the road.
Yes, you're right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve. Pleasure.
Hey, for more information on reverse mortgages, to find out if it fits you, you want to go to the Silver-Haired Tsunami website. Hey, stick with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Min Lee. I live up in Carmel Valley, northern San Diego with my 2 kids and wife, and we had our solar installed by Baker Electric Solar. We went with solar because we wanted to be environmentally sound, but ultimately it came down to being financially sensible, and the prepay lease was really the best option. There was only one payment up front, lock in all of our utility rates. We'll get our return back in about 6 or 7 years, kind of like a bond or a CD. We had no headaches, no stress to worry about. If you're thinking about going solar, now's a great time. Our electric bill is 0, and you can't beat that.
My name's Kevin Grangetto. I live in Escondido, California, and I had my system put in by Baker Electric Solar. When they got here, they were ready to go. Started early, 6 in the morning. They parked off site, so they were able to get everything in on the roof, hooked up, and done in a matter of 3 days. And it was really easy for my wife and I to work with them. You just don't want a lot of these challenges to be, affecting the way that you do your life. And when they got in and out of here, it was excellent. It was easy. It's just the way they told me it would be.
We have Brenda Geiger here from the Geiger Law Office. She's going to educate us a little bit about Donald Trump's plan, as well as talk about a very special event that's coming up with the American Cancer Society. Brenda, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here today.
I'm really excited that you're here today because, you know what, I haven't had a chance to hear about Donald Trump's tax plan or his estate tax plan. So you got to fill us in on that. And you know what, there's also that very special event that you have coming out with the American Cancer Society, and it's premiering the new Star Wars movie. So hey, if you're a Trekkie, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Not a
yeah.
Trekkie, a Star Wars fan.
Star Wars fan, yes.
I'm sorry. So tell us about Donald Trump.
Well, a lot of people may have heard that Donald Trump wants to repeal the estate tax, which means to get rid of it. And that is true. And since we have a Congress, a House, and presidency all vested in the Republican Party, the chances for that happening are actually pretty great. But what people don't realize is that his tax plan includes to replace it with something else, and that's with a capital gains regime. So there's not a lot of information on his website, but what he does say is he's proposing a $10 million exemption for property. So if you have $10 million
So
of
pretty much
property,
where it is right now.
yeah, but what we don't quite understand is whether or not that's going to be a deemed sale at the death of the original owner, or if that's going to be upon sale of those assets. So that's the interesting thing that we don't quite understand.
You got to help with the deemed sale. We're getting into a technical term. What does
Yes.
that mean?
That means that if you have a capital gains, if you were to sell something and it had a capital gains associated with it, is death going to be considered like a sale even if you didn't sell the asset and you're going to
I
owe the
see.
government the money? Or is that only going to happen later if the beneficiaries actually sell the property? So we're not quite sure about that. And if he does repeal the estate tax, whether or not that exemption ends up being $10 million or something less than that, and this is for a married couple, we're not quite sure yet.
Okay, so there's a lot of information. Now, there's another tax piece. It was 2470. What is
2074. So what that does is it governs the value or discounted value for property that's passed between family members when you have business interests such as real estate or an operating business, or maybe even investment accounts that are in a family limited partnership. When you transfer part of those interests to a family member, getting discounts. So what 2704 is doing is they want to kind of curtail the amount of discounts that family members can take on their estate tax returns.
Now,
Tax returns.
here's the other question. Many times in the past where they do these types of changes, and these changes are significant, the people who already have them in place, they get grandfathered in. Is that correct?
Typically, that's how it works. Yeah, it's kind of an accounting nightmare for the IRS as well as for the taxpayer if they don't do that.
So most likely they're going to do that. So like in 1986 with TEFRA, there's a lot of people who had life insurance policies, and those life insurance policies were wonderful policies as long as they kept them.
Yeah.
They're in good shape. But if they change them, they're subject to the new rules.
Yeah.
Now, I want to talk about this event that you have coming up.
Yeah.
You know, my whole family loves Star Wars. So tell us about the event.
So last year we did a premiere for the new Star Wars movie that came out in December, and we're continuing that. And this year we're benefiting the American Cancer Society. So all the ticket proceeds, our firm's sponsoring and paying for the actual rental of the movie theater, but all the ticket sales are going to the American Cancer Society for colon cancer research. So my father passed away at the age of 40 from colon cancer, and that's why this is near and dear to me. And it's something that is so survivable. That's why I just feel like we really need to get the word out and save as many people as we can.
Well, as you all know, I'm a colon cancer survivor.
Yes.
I was lucky enough to survive. You know what? The funny thing is, I can't really say it's funny, but 5 or 6 years afterwards, my kids, I was the only person they knew that survived. And now they're meeting people who have survived cancer, and this is a great thing. And the reality is people just need to know what they should be doing to survive cancer. And part of that is just getting checked.
Yeah, especially if you're over 50, you really should get checked because the odds of colon cancer incidents are so much greater when you're over the age of 50. And my dad was only 40, and you were in your 40s when this happened. So if you have any symptoms at all, don't just assume that it's something other than what it is. Go get checked. It's so easy to get checked these days. And we're having our event on December 16th at 7 p.m. in Carlsbad at the Regal 12 Theaters. And I think you've got some information on your site about where people can go to register.
Where can people go to register?
They can go to Eventbrite, and I think you have the URL on your site as well.
Yes, we do.
So that, and it's also located on my site too under reports. So definitely, I'm hoping we get as many people as we can to come and share and donate.
Well, I know there's a few Star Wars nuts in my office that are going. And my son has a soccer game that night, so he's like, just, Dad, if the soccer game ends at 5:30, can I get from Ontario down to Carlsbad so I can see it? I'm like, it isn't going to work. He's just really bummed. So I'm looking forward to the event.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us and helping us out with Donald Trump's plan. We'll have to see how that works out.
Yeah.
And I'm just so happy you're here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The American Cancer Society, especially when it comes to colon cancer, everybody needs to be aware of what they can do to save their own life.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, if you would like to get more information about the Star Wars event and the American Cancer Society, you definitely want to go to the Silver Hair Tsunami website. Hey, look, stick with us. We'll be right back with some Wayne Dunlop and some wonderful travel tips.
Hi, I am Bob Schuster. This is Arlene Schuster. We live in Escondido, California, and we chose Baker Electric Solar to install our solar system at our home.
We've known the Baker family for many years. We're both pioneer families here in Escondido. We chose them because of the integrity of their family.
But they were first class. We know what good service means to the customer. Baker Electric is the epitome of that good service.
It's the best experience we could have ever had. We're very pleased.
My name is Mike Peters and my wife Cindy. We've been residents of Escondido for over 40 years and we've been really happy with Baker Solar. Being a banker, I'm a numbers guy and I looked at the numbers very seriously before I chose solar. Right now my savings is about $3,000 a year. As the 20-year lease goes on, I'll be saving more. So I'm extremely happy with the system.
Lots of people watched the installation and a lot of questions, and I just have to tell them it's all worked out great. We're saving lots of money. It's paying off big time.
It's the bucket list segment. We have Wayne Dunlop. If you remember, Wayne's one of the top travel bloggers in the world. In fact, in the top 25 according to TripAdvisory. He and his wife Pat have been to over 100 countries, 45 states. He's a featured speaker at travel shows. He's written the book Plan Your Escape that everybody loves because they can travel for the less it costs to live at home. We're talking about year-end travel. We got Thanksgiving, Christmas. You know what? You and your wife might be thinking about traveling. Hey, you know what? We need some help here. Could you give us some ideas?
Yeah, we love the holiday season, but we also like taking advantage of the bargains that come up at year end. And there's a lot of really good bargains right now. And one of the ones that really we like to talk about a lot is New Zealand. I mean, New Zealand is amazing. What people don't realize is the Southern Hemisphere has the opposite seasons than we have in Northern Hemisphere. And we may have studied that in school, but for travel, as we go into winter, they're going into late spring and summer. Lovely time to be traveling to New Zealand.
You know what? When I used to work in Australia, it was kind of weird because it was Christmas time, and back home, or when I used to live before, it was freezing, and I'm here in Sydney, Australia, and it's 95 degrees, and everybody's walking around in shorts, and like, go figure.
Yeah.
And then like during the summertime, in June, July in Melbourne, it's like 32 degrees outside.
I know.
It's crazy, but that's a good thing, especially if you're traveling this time of year.
Yeah, and New Zealand is in the top, I say, 5 of our countries, and we've been into 100 countries right now. We like it that much. There's that much to do. And, really, it's a great time to go there now, because our exchange rate just went crazy against the New Zealand dollar. It's up about 35% than it was 2 years ago. So everything's like a third off over in New Zealand right now.
So that's one way to get a bargain. What are others?
Well, we like to do driving trips, which is a nice idea. And one of the trips we always give people, most people get their cars and they go from north down to south. Mm-hmm. Go the other way. They're almost giving the car rentals going the other way. We got it for $17 a day.
Really?
Yeah, going from south to north. The other suggestion people have, if you're very budget-minded, is that they have these wonderful bus systems you can hook up with. And they'll drop you off at some of the great places all around New Zealand. And the one that we really liked a lot of people liked, was called Magic Bus. And so that's a really good way to save a lot of money if you're going to New Zealand.
That's great. Now, is it a good time to take a cruise to New Zealand, or?
Well, just cruises in general are really on sale right now. We are looking into something right now, and we found a 17-night cruise going to Hawaii from San Diego and back to San Diego, 5-star, going out on November 17th, and guess this, $999 per person. So
that's really inexpensive.
For 17 days. Unbelievable, yeah. Wow. And then we also found another 5-star Hollow America cruise going out on December 10th, going down the Mexican Riviera, stopping at Cabo San Lucas, Puerto Vallarta, Mazatlan. We love that. We've done that cruise a couple of times. It's a fun cruise. $449.
Wow.
I mean, it's about as low as I've ever seen it. So you could jump on that, just go down straight out of San Diego, no flights. Hop on the cruise, $450.
Well, even in Mexico right now, isn't the exchange rate really in our favor?
The exchange rate is amazing right now. Thanks for asking. I've never seen it this good. We're up about 40% over last year. It's 19 pesos to $1. I mean,
now, if we're talking about cruises, is it a good time to go to Alaska?
Well, I would say not this time of year. It gets cooler up there. So I think I would postpone that until summertime.
So in other words, it freezes up there, so you're going to need some big jackets and big gloves and big hats.
Well, if you like that kind of thing, and I'm not even sure the cruises run this time of year. I mean, because they're hard to sell this time of year. So they bring them down and they take them down to Mexico. That's where a lot of the cruise ships will be coming down to.
I asked that because a bunch of people had a misconception. Now, how do you find those great cruise deals?
Yeah, we have booked a lot of cruises through vacationstogo.com. Mm-hmm. And that's a neat company, and I should tell you about it. What happens is when the cruise ships know at certain times of year, certain cruises will never sell out. And so what they dump them off to consolidators like vacationstogo.com, and there's tremendous bargains. Also, you can research your trips, and that's how I found these guys. Just go to vacationstogo.com. It's a very good site.
Now, talking about cruises and trips, you know what about Europe?
Yeah, Europe this time of year is magical. For Christmas in Europe, we had some friends go to Salzburg, Austria. And we went to dinner with them, they never stopped raving about it, okay? I mean, also, the wine villages along Germany's Rhine River are famous for the thing. So you can get over there. Also, it's a good time to go because, the US dollar is strong. It's up about 15% to the euro over 2 years ago. Some really good deals over there.
Now let's talk about skiing. You know, winter's the time to enjoy skiing. Where do you go skiing? Where's the great deals there?
Well, I always think about, because we have a San Diego-based audience, I like to give a good suggestion for that. We've been to about 20 ski resorts around North America. We were going to one every year for the last 20 years. We fell in love with Park City, Utah.
I love that place.
It is. It's great snow conditions, friendly people. They have a beautiful old mining town of Park City. It has lots of restaurants and shops. My wife doesn't ski, and she can always find things to do. But what I like about it, you can ski 3 different mountains. And what's so wonderful about San Diego residents is there's a direct flight from Lindbergh up to Salt Lake City. You don't need a car. You can take Uber, that's what we did last time, Uber or transport up to the mountain. And then you don't need a car up there because they have this phenomenal free transportation system with heated buses and all that. It'll take you through all 3 mountains up to the town, everything. And another nice thing about the free bus system is that other places you have to pay that higher price for the ski-on, ski-off resorts. Those are very expensive. Now you can stay away from the mountain, jump on the transfer and go up to the mountains, and you can get much better deals on hotels.
That's wonderful to know. That's wonderful to know. Now, tell us a little bit more about your travel blog.
Yeah. Well, I've done some extensive posts on New Zealand and Park City, et cetera, on my travel blog. It's called unhooknow.com. Unhooknow.com. And I also have 220 other places around the world that people can read about and have fun with. So go to Unhook Now. There's a lot of information.
Now, here's the other thing. You also expand on how to get great travel deals and things that pop up, just like you talked with the show today, right?
Right.
This is the things that we all want to know about is the great travel deals. Wayne, thank you so much for educating us and being on the show.
Well, thank you for having me. It's lovely to come back. I mean, travel is amazing. This is a wonderful, beautiful world that we live on, and we should all go out and enjoy it.
That's why we have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, for more information, you want to go to the Silver Hair Tsunami website. If you'd like to get more information from Wayne, go to that Unhook Now blog. Also, you want to take a look at getting his book at Plan Your Escape.
Hi, my name is Steve, and this is my wife Amy. We just had our solar panels installed by Baker Electric. Living out here in the East County, the temperatures can be in the mid-70s to over 100.
We didn't know a lot about solar. Speaking with our solar consultant, he was there to answer any of our questions that we had. He was always there when we needed him.
I think the fact that Baker does go in-house with their employees, everyone is very professional and very polite, and they're on budget. We couldn't have gone with a better company.
Hi, my name is Chuck Cassidy. I live in the Meadowview area of Temecula, and I chose Baker Electric Solar. Everybody and his brother is selling and installing solar these days, and you really have no way of knowing, are you going to get what you pay for? My electric bill has been in the minus every month for the past 2 years. Very few things in life these days come out the way you want. This was one of them.
What a wonderful show. We said, Wayne Dunlop, isn't he outstanding? How to save thousands of dollars traveling. You can't beat that. Then we had Brenda Geiger. Hey, you know what? It's all about the American Cancer Society and colon cancer. I'm a survivor. You'll hear my story. More importantly, you get to see the premiere. Be at the premiere for the new Star Wars Rogue One movie. That's going to be outstanding. And Michelle Cole, wasn't she wonderful? She showed you how to replace your pension. That allows you to live the quality of life that you want. Wonderful show. Hey, look, if you'd like to see more episodes, you want to go to the Silver Hair Tsunami website. You want to follow us at Facebook. You know what? We'll look forward to seeing you for another wonderful show next week. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.